If Victor Wembanyama wins a championship at 22, this isn't normal. This is a problem, because this stops being a development story. This becomes the beginning of a dynasty. Before the season started, the Spurs were projected to win just 44.5 games. Nobody thought they could contend for a title. Nobody thought they could make it out of the Western Conference. In fact, many believed they were still 2 or 3 years away from becoming a true contender. But look at what happened. 62 wins. Second place in the West. A playoff run through some of the league's toughest opponents. Then a Game 7 win over the defending champions in the Western Conference Finals. And now they're standing on the NBA Finals stage. The player leading all of it? A 22-year-old. If we rewind the clock 3 years, Wembanyama was still the most hyped rookie in basketball. People said he was a once-in-a-generation talent. They said he could change basketball. They said he would become the future face of the league. But even the biggest optimists didn't predict he'd reach the NBA Finals in just his 3rd season. Because NBA history tells us that talent takes time to fully develop. Michael Jordan was still battling the Celtics in his 3rd season. LeBron James was still learning how to win. Kobe Bryant was still coming off the bench. None of them were this accomplished this early, not even close. And Wembanyama, Defensive Player of the Year, First Team All-NBA, Top 3 MVP finish, Western Conference Finals MVP. And if he adds a championship and Finals MVP to that resume, then 22-year-old Victor Wembanyama would already have a resume most Hall of Famers never matched. What's even scarier is that we may not have seen the best version of him yet. Because for most NBA players, the true physical prime arrives between the ages of 24 and 30. Jordan started building his dynasty at 28. LeBron won his first championship at 27. Shaq began his three-peat at 28. Steph Curry won his first title at 27. Wemby is only 22. In other words, this might be the worst version of Wemby we'll ever see. And that's the truly terrifying part. Many superstars improve through experience. Many stars improve through skill development. Wemby is different. He hasn't even fully grown into his body yet. And that's what makes this even more dangerous. A player standing over 7'3" with a guard's handle, a wing shooting touch, and an elite rim protector's instincts. What happens when a player like that reaches his physical peak? Nobody knows. And that's why more and more people have started bringing up the GOAT debate. Not because he's already the greatest, but because he's starting from a place most players never reach. To put it into perspective, many all-time top 10 players finish their entire careers with one Defensive Player of the Year award. Wemby already has one at 22. Many all-time greats had to wait until later in their careers to win a championship. Wemby might accomplish that in year 3. When it comes to chasing historical greatness, the most important thing isn't catching up later. It's getting a head start. Because winning this early changes everything. If Wemby captures his first title at 22, he'll still have at least a decade-long championship window ahead of him. And what does that mean? It means the rest of the league may already be running out of time. Because the truly frightening thing isn't just Wemby, it's the entire Spurs core. Look at their ages. Wemby is 22. Stephon Castle is only in year 2. Dylan Harper is a rookie. This doesn't even look like a championship team. It looks like a team that's supposed to be rebuilding, and yet they're already in the NBA Finals. Do you know what the most dangerous teams in NBA history have been? Not the teams with superstars, the teams with young superstars. The 2015 Warriors, the 1991 Bulls, the 2000 Lakers. Because they don't just win, they keep winning. An aging contender can be beaten by waiting for decline. Young teams don't work that way. They improve every year. They get stronger every year. That's why more and more people are starting to believe the Spurs may be a bigger dynasty threat than the Thunder. Last year, the conversation was whether Oklahoma City could dominate the league for the next 5 years. Now the Spurs have personally eliminated them. If the Thunder were supposed to be the future, the Spurs may have just stolen it. More importantly, Wemby could change the way teams build their rosters, just like the Warriors changed basketball. After Steph Curry launched the three-point revolution, every team started hunting for shooters. Every team tried to copy Golden State. Wemby's influence could be completely different. In the future, many teams may build their rosters with one question in mind. Not how to score, but how to score on Victor Wembanyama. Because even if you beat the first defender, there's still a historic rim protector waiting behind him. That kind of player changes an entire league. And if the Spurs ultimately win the championship, another debate may finally end. The debate over who becomes the face of the NBA. For years, the league has been searching for the player who follows LeBron James. Nikola Jokic is too private. Giannis has battled injuries. Joel Embiid has struggled to maintain consistency. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander won a championship, but controversy continues to follow him. Even Anthony Edwards once said it himself. The league already has Victor Wembanyama. The truth is, Wemby has been the most watched young player in basketball since the day he entered the NBA. And if he wins a championship in his third season, the debate over who owns the future of the league may end much sooner than expected. Because we've never seen a 22-year-old player with this combination of talent, accolades, and success. So maybe the real question isn't whether Wemby can become the greatest of all time. Maybe the real question is this: did the Wembanyama era already start?